Well, let's talk to our health editor then, Hugh Pym, who's with us in the studio. And Hugh, we've heard from Jeremy Hunt, the Health Secretary. We haven't really heard from the new Prime Minister, Theresa May, on her view about this whole dispute.
Well, that's right, Ben. In so many ways, this is all very familiar from earlier this year. It's the same Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt. Broadly speaking, the same leadership of the BMA, although the chair of the Junior Doctors Committee has changed. The one big change, if you like, at the top of all this is the Prime Minister, Theresa May, has taken office since this all blew up. Now, the fact that she reappointed Jeremy Hunt as Health Secretary was significant because that, in a sense, was backing his stance previously, and people close to him are making that pretty clear over the last 24 hours that she is right behind the position that he has taken. But she's got quite a big choice to make. Does she press on with the current position, which is we've done all we can in government to get an agreement. We got an agreement, but it was thrown out. We now need to introduce this contract, even if that means quite severe disruption across hospitals, or does she take a fresh look at it? But the indications are, and we may hear more from her today, that she's backing Jeremy Hunt, and that's always been her position.
And on the doctor's side, it looks in a way so they've got a problem because the BMA leadership, in a sense, seem to be out of step with their membership. Their membership, some of them at least, are more militant than the leadership.
Well, it's very embarrassing in a way for the BMA that they did a deal with the government and then went and put it to their members who threw it out. They are arguing, though, that they never actively went and sold it very hard. They went and put it to the members, and if the members decide they don't like it, it's a membership organisation, they will take their cue. Now, it wasn't denied this morning on the Today programme when Dr. Mark Porter of the BMA was questioned. He didn't deny that it had been a very close vote of the council. It was the BMA's overall council last night which had to make a decision on whether to authorise this action, which had been requested by the junior doctors. So it was a close vote, but the public position of the BMA is we stand behind our members. That's what they want to do. We will back them.
Is there any way out of strike action now? Because I mean, the doctor's saying if the government took imposition, if they stopped imposing the contract, then the strike would be off. Is that perhaps the key?
Well, that's what the BMA want. They say, well, we know that 58% of our members rejected what was on the table, therefore we need to start again. The government doesn't have a mandate to impose it in October. The government point of view is that every effort was made after weeks of negotiation, many concessions, did a deal with the BMA, then it was thrown out. You can't go on doing deals with the BMA only to put it to the membership who then throw it out. There has to be a line drawn, and that seems to be the mood in government this morning, that there were some informal talks over the summer. Now the BMA have called these strikes. It's very hard to see how any further talks can take place, certainly before that first week of action.
Hugh, you were talking about Theresa May. I've just had actually in some comments from her in the last minute. So let me just read them out and maybe you could give us your response. Not entirely out of step with what you were saying, but I mean, Theresa May accusing the BMA of playing politics. She backed Jeremy Hunt. She said he was an excellent health secretary. She said the contract deal was safe for patients, adding that the NHS had record levels of funding and more doctors than we've seen in its history. The government is putting patients first, and the BMA should be putting patients first, not playing politics. So it sounds like she's very much in tune with Jeremy Hunt, her health secretary.
It does sound that way, attacking the BMA for playing politics. It doesn't look as if she's going to suddenly take a new bit of paper and say, let's start again. So certainly the noises that we're hearing there from the Prime Minister suggest that the government stance is as it was. They will carry on imposing this contract, and that first week of action will go ahead.
Hugh, for the moment, thank you very much indeed. Hugh Pym, our health editor.